You know what?
Moshi Moshi.
Japanese mein hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the 10-year anniversary of Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara.
What? Did you just?
That's really nice.
सूरज की बाहों में
अब है ये जिंदगी
Are you mad?
Boy.
बातों में रोशनी
Missing you, Kalki.
Hello to everyone watching from everywhere in the world. Welcome to the 10-year anniversary of Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara. This is, of course, a table read, and we're going to talk about the movie and all the people who made it as well. I think that calls for an awkward Zoom round of applause. So come on, everybody do that. Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara on Zoom. We're going to celebrate the 10-year anniversary by reading some of the scenes from the film and also talking about it. My name is Veer Das. I'll be hosting. If you're wondering what I'm doing here, so am I. I'm not actually in. Well, the truth is, I'm actually in Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara. But when the three boys jumped out of the plane, there was actually just a fourth guy on holiday by himself. And he jumped out and his parachute didn't open and he didn't make it to the edit or back home to his family. So we're going to introduce everybody that was involved with this wonderful movie and they're going to introduce themselves. So let the ladies go first and introduce themselves and how you came about to be in this movie.
Hello, I'm Zoya Akhtar. I'm the co-writer and director of this film.
Hi everybody, I'm Katrina Kaif and I play Layla in the film, and I came to be in this film because the amazing Zoya had narrated me the film and I just fell in love with it as soon as I heard it.
Hi guys, I'm Reema Kakti and I co-wrote the film with Zoya and I shot second unit.
Alright, over to the guys.
Hi, I'm Ritik. I play Arjun in the film. He works in stocks and lives in a box.
Hi, this is Farhan. I produced, wrote dialogue and acted in the film. I played Imran, who's a closet poet.
Hi, Mabhay. I play Kabir, and I was lucky enough to be taken along for the ride of this wonderful movie.
Hi, I'm Ritesh. I'm the producer of the film, and I just went along on the road trip with them.
शादी के बाद तुम कहाँ ऐसी बॉयज ट्रिप पे जाना चाहोगे?
Okay, so all these people are wonderful and they're involved with the movie. Shout out to Kalki, who is, of course, a big part of this movie, but she couldn't be here today. She's shooting a movie in London, but she's with us in spirit, or at least
Love you,
drinking
Kalki.
spirits
Missing
in
you.
London.
Missing you, Kalki.
Let's send her a shout out. All right, cool.
Miss
We'll
you,
do two
rock
questions
chick.
and then I think we'll get into the movie. Zoya, let's start with you, if that's all right. So, it goes without saying that everybody is a part of this movie for a reason and because they bring something different to the table. But when you're helming a movie, I'm assuming that you need everybody to have something in common also for them to be part of a project like this. So what is that? That one thing that you think everybody on this Zoom call has in common for this movie?
I think the first thing that everyone in this Zoom call has in common is a love for films, love for the process of making films, love for the job that they have. I think all of them are, they are not only into the end result, each day is part of what they are here to do.
Okay, one round of questions for the cast before we read our first scene. What I'd like is kind of first instinctual reaction in your own thoughts. So, you've just read the script of Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara for the first time. You've put it down. It's either been narrated to you or you've read it. And the first thing that runs through your mind when you've read this script is?
How unusual and refreshing that it was. Like, it just felt like something extremely personal, something really fresh. It was unlike anything else that I was reading at that time or that I had done. You know, everything in the film rung very true. Every person's emotions, their journeys, what they were saying, what they were doing. Everything to me just seemed like there was it was all coming from a place of honesty.
I distinctly remember feeling good. I was like, this is it's so clearly a feel-good movie because I'm feeling good right now just after reading it.
I remember when Zoya finished doing Luck by Chance, she was like, enough of these massive ensembles. I want to just do a film with three boys in a car. And that's really was the first time that I heard of it. And then, I mean, you're just so closely involved through all the writing and then writing dialogue and stuff that it, you know, I mean, and it just felt good from the word go.
I know certainly that it was something about Zoya's individuality that was just shining through the script. And I just knew that it's coming from a real place. As Katrina said, it just felt very real, and deep inside, you know, I felt it in my bones that this film has got to be made.
Okay, cool. I would like to read a scene now so that after the scene I can come to Rima and Ritesh for some questions. So let's just read a scene. This is the first scene that we're going to read. It's the I heard something about you scene. Rima and Zoya, perhaps a quick setup for the scene, like where we are in the movie.
Interior Barcelona bar night. Arjun orders tapas, speaking in Spanish.
Gracias. Dos croquetas y tres tortillas, thanks.
Arjun walks over to Kabir and Imran sitting at a table.
I wish तू आज आया होता यार. इसकी गैलरी ढूंढते ढूंढते पता नहीं कहाँ पहुंच गए. मगर ये शहर बहुत खूबसूरत है, सच्ची में.
और मैंने आज बैठे बैठे 2000 पाउंड कमीशन अर्न की. So, excuse me if I don't complain. Cheers.
2000 pound? Wow.
Cheers, cheers. Well done.
Dude, तेरे बारे में मैंने कुछ सुना है.
Imran turns to Kabir and looks at him, trying not to smile. Kabir gives nothing away as he keeps looking at Arjun.
तुझे पता है क्या?
Kabir shrugs. Imran turns to Arjun. He can't believe this is working.
Well, ये नहीं बात बोला होगा कि I was forced, okay? उनसे कोई बात अंदर रखी नहीं जाती. She's driving me crazy, man.
Yeah.
अब 10 दिन पहले लंदन आकर मुझे किसी दोस्त के रिश्तेदार के घर ले गई लड़की दिखाने. नीलू आंटी और गोगी अंकल की बेटी कुकी. मैंने तो डिसाइड कर लिया था कि वहां जाऊंगा, चाय पीऊंगा, थैंक यू अंकल, थैंक यू आंटी के बाद नो बोल के आ जाऊंगा. जैसे ही चाय की पहली सिप ली, कुकी ने नो बोल दिया. So, you know.
Imran and Kabir look at each other and burst out laughing.
I mean, so what, yeah? I mean, what's there?
तू arranged marriage के लिए गया और reject होके आ गया.
अरे, I didn't want to impress her, यार.
नाक कटा दी तूने हमारे ग्रुप की. फेल.
Shut up, man. Please stop it. और तुझे बताने की जरूरत क्या थी? What's wrong with her, man?
Actually, आंटी ने इसको कुछ नहीं बताया. ये इसका नया पैतरा है और तू इस पैतरे का नया शिकार. Cheers.
2000 pounds.
Kabir and Imran laugh uncontrollably.
पप्पू फेल हो गया.
लेकिन कुकी तो पास हो गई.
Man, guys, how old are you?
You know what? We just have to have some shots. हाँ? Shots पिए?
हाँ, कुकी के नाम पे.
Shots कुकी के नाम पे. Okay.
Kabir heads to the bar. Arjun shouts after him.
Not for me, हाँ. 1 घंटे के बाद कॉन्फ्रेंस कॉल है मेरा.
तो अब तक वही प्लान. 40 तक नोट छापो और फिर रिटायरमेंट.
Yep, that's the plan.
Arjun takes a sip of his beer, reaches for a serving of the food, offers Imran.
Listen, thank you.
For what?
इस ट्रिप पे आने के लिए. It means a lot to me.
I'm sure it does.
Imran sips his beer. They sit in silence.
And scene, guys. Give yourselves a round of applause. Well done. Come on. You can do that. I'll go to Rima for a question. Rima, I think when you're writing this, you know that this scene is heading towards discomfort. You know, it's going to end in discomfort at the end of it. And that you choose to laugh before discomfort. You know, you choose to expose that with comedy, which I think is the best way for exposition. So is that deliberate?
Pretty much everything anybody writes in a script is deliberate.
Yeah, we had written the scene, and then I remember on the morning of the shoot, Hrithik was like, I'm not embarrassed enough. Because at that time there was something else that happens with the mother, I don't remember. But him getting rejected from the arranged marriage came out in the morning of the shoot. Because we wanted something to be more embarrassing, and then we wrote it that morning. Do you all remember this?
Yeah, I fully remember.
Yeah, but beats wise, it was funny going into discomfort.
Okay, I have to come to Ritesh because every holiday has someone who plans it and pays for it, right? And all the glamour from set, you know, like from baby ka juice and madam ki chhatri comes from Sahab ka wallet. All right, so we should talk to Sahab at this point. Ritesh, this is third. You've done 3 landmark travel films, right? So you got Dil Chahta Hai, Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara, Dil Dhadakne Do as well. So this is the XL genre. Why are you the guys who get it right in terms of what makes you the guys who always ace it?
I think more than the travel, I think it's the friendship, you know, which as a theme is, I think it's so universal. There's no age thing to it, you know, you may be in your 70s, you may be in your 20s, you may be at any age time. I think you'll always go to that group of friends or a friend to share your joy or your fears or anything. And I think, and it's just that when I think I'm sure Rima and Zoya, when they wrote these characters, like, and you pick any of them, whether it's an Imran or it's Kabir, or it's you take from Dil Chahta, you take Sid's character, you take Akash, any of these. I think there's an instant relatability to it. You identify with, and all of them, when they were introducing themselves to their reaction to the script the first time, all kept saying it's real. Because at somewhere, each of these characters have a little bit of you or a little bit of somebody you know. So I think it makes it so believable, the entire journey, that there's nothing you're trying to fake or trying to recreate,
So, we are reading the Moshi Moshi Yamamoto scene. Zoya is going to set us up for where this is in the movie, and here we go.
Exterior highway day. Arjun drives. Kabir turns on the radio. Imran lies at the back, staring out. Arjun's phone starts to ring. He answers it.
Hey Sarah, what's up? Mr. Yamamoto called himself. Well, he'll have the docket in 2 days. No, don't say I'm on a holiday. Just get Joe to call me back. Bye.
Kabir now takes pictures of Imran. Arjun's phone rings again. It's Joe.
Hey Joe, what's up? Like now? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll do it. Bye. Okay, bye.
Arjun swerves the car to the side and stops in the middle of nowhere.
Almost killing his friends, may I add.
Arjun rushes out of the car, goes to the boot and opens it. The boys watch him pull out his laptop and place it on the bonnet. Imran and Kabir stare at him confused. Arjun then rushes to his bag, opens it, pulls out a tie and a waistcoat.
Guys, 10 minutes, max. Yeah?
Arjun is online. A Japanese man is on the screen.
Moshi Moshi
Moshi Moshi Yamamoto-san, o genki desu ka? Or something like that.
The boys are now out of the car. They stare at him from across the road. He looks ridiculous.
Genki desu.
Moshi.
Japanese mein hello.
For you, I will always be here. Hi.
कबीरा,
हाँ,
पहले इस अमेजिंग व्यू को देख और फिर देख हमारे बेचारे इस दोस्त को.
My team is going to put together all the information and you'll have the docket with you in 3 days.
मैं तो कहता हूँ ये द मेंटली सिक हो चुका है और इसे साइकाइट्रिस्ट की जरूरत है.
This is from school, ना?
अरे नहीं, स्कूल नहीं, स्कूल.
School.
क्योंकि only the Mr. the Dubey can talk like this.
The Mr. the Dubey. क्या तुम the mentally challenged हो, my boy?
Boy नहीं, boy.
Mentally challenged boy.
Mental boy.
Arigato Yamamoto-san. Chalo guys, I'm done.
They turn to him. Arjun stares at them.
Arjun, my boy, तुम इस the uniform में the mental लग रहे हो.
Okay, very well the sense.
End scene.
I like how you all gave me those dialogues that your teacher did. It was hilarious. Who is the Dubey?
He was a teacher in Manikji Cooper. And he used to speak like this, and all the kids would imitate him.
Yeah, so he had this habit of putting the before everything. So, like, when cricket matches were going on, he would say, like, the Bavin, the Gala, the very good, the bowler. Like that, that kind of stuff.
and he has no idea. There's been no contact from him saying thank you or what the hell or anything like that since this thing. He didn't put 2 and 2 together.
No.
Actually, Zoya, I must tell you, I think I did tell you, you may have forgotten, his daughter got in touch. His daughter, I spoke to his daughter. He unfortunately passed away. But she got in touch and she said it's so sweet that you all remembered him and stuff like that. It was very sweet.
Okay, I've got one thing that I think Rima, Ritesh and Zoya should weigh in on. If the three of you can weigh in on why you think it stays relatable over time, because it's still relatable as a film. It's still a great watch. And that balance.
When Rima and me started to write it, I think we are very influenced by films which we saw as kids, which was Dead Poets Society, that had Carpe Diem as its moniker, or Breakfast Club. Those were the films that really kind of affected us on a level when we were teens. And when we were writing this, I thought that this would relate to that impressionable age. And we were quite surprised that it went beyond the youth in that sense. But I think there's no age to come of age. And no matter where you are, there is a relatability of you have one life, you know, and you have to, if you're not hurting or harming anybody, you've got to do what works for you, you know. And especially us, we come from such a society where there's so much pressure to conform that I think I think there was a kind of feeling of freedom, of liberty. Now I'm looking back at it and I'm feeling that's what resonated, you know. At that time you just think it's the journey, it's the fun, it's the humor, but I feel like, I think it resonated deeply because somewhere it gave you a sense of it's okay, you know, freedom is allowed, you know, you don't have to fit in. I think that's, I think somewhere that worked, you know. And also I think it related to guys because it just didn't show them as just like macho, you know. There was a certain sensitivity and a certain silence that I think they come with. And I think that's what, I mean, the sweetest thing I got was I got this little letter from a 14-year-old boy who said, I'm the only person who's understood him. That's my favorite fan letter ever. You're the only person in the world who's understood me. So I think somewhere that connected, I think.
You know, when we wrote ZNMD, like maybe a year or 6 months before that, we had gone on a holiday. Zoya and I and a couple of other friends, Ritesh and Farhan also, like we kept meeting up in different cities. So I think that, you know, it's kind of a little bit of what Ritik said earlier, that we had a wonderful holiday and a lot of that came, like, you know, our experiences were honestly from that. It was from the heart in that sense, and that's why I think it hit home.
And also, you know, though, I mean, like, we've obviously it feels relatable, it's real, like these characters, but at the end of the day, it is engaging you, it's entertaining you, but at the end of the day, it's not being preachy. Like, there are very, like, in each of the characters come back and there's a message, you know, but it's not trying to be preachy. So it's still entertaining you, it's engaging you, and that's why even today it's relevant. Because at nowhere beyond, you know, you'll watch the film, you'll be having fun throughout, you'll laugh, it'll make you cry in moments, but at the end of the day, it leaves you with a certain thought. You know, when you leave at the end of the film, even if you watch it now, it'll give you something where you might be currently today in life. So I think it'll always remain like that with this kind of a film, you know.
If I may, I have a perspective on this.
Up until that film, I know where I was coming from. You know, I was doing films where I always had to get into a character, you know, get into the hero's mold. And I think this is something that's it's very Zoya, it's very Rima, Zoya, you know. They don't write heroes, you know, they write characters, and you identify because you're not coming from a place of, you know, trying to be somebody that you're not. So I remember whatever was happening energy-wise within me when I was on set, literally everything came from the setting, from the people, and there was nothing that, you know, I had to do to get into the role. It was the first time I had to be myself and allow my surroundings, my environment, the environment that Zoya creates on the set, the way she talks to you, the way Farhan, Abhay, me, we all got together, Katrina, of course, you also, and just like filled each other up, you know, and that's where it poured from. So for me, it was a revelation.
Okay, I want to read a scene now, and then I want to come out of that scene and I want to talk specifically about Katrina's character and also about Bhagwati. So we'll go into that territory. So this is a scene which basically the heading of the scene is kind of how the Indian establishment describes my industry. It's the "it's not funny" scene. Or we'll just kind of go from there, and take two is this is the "it's not funny" scene from ZNMD. Let's read it now.
Exterior highway, afternoon. Arjun drives, Kabir sits up front.
Dude, तू mentally the sick है.
यार दुनिया में कहीं भी जाओ, लोग एक जैसे होते हैं. It's just human nature.
Imran sits in the back. He picks up the bag and puts it onto the seat properly. Kabir looks at him in the rear view mirror.
What are you doing?
बेचारी को गर्मी लग रही है.
बेचारी?
Kabira, meet Bhagwati.
Arjun starts laughing. Kabir shakes his head, not amused.
वो क्या गया है तेरे जोक्स को यार? तबीयत खराब है क्या उनकी?
हाँ, हम क्या बताऊं, तुझ पर गई है मेरे जोक्स.
Arjun's phone rings.
Hey Joe, yeah, I spoke to Mr. Yamamoto and we need to get the docket in 2 days.
Oh, somebody please, कोई इसका फोन मार फेंक दो यार.
The evaluation is done, right? Yeah, so...
Imran reaches out from the back seat and grabs Arjun's phone.
क्या कर रहा है यार?
Imran throws it out of the car. Kabir and Arjun are shocked.
Are you mad?
Are you mad? What? Did you just?
Arjun pulls over on the highway. He gets off and looks back at the road. The other two boys stare at him.
अब कहाँ मिलेगा यार अब?
Sorry यार bro, मुझे नहीं पता था कि ये सच में फेंक देगा.
Yeah, of course you didn't know, Kabir. अब जाओ मेरा फोन ढूंढो.
हाँ, कहाँ?
I don't know, मुझे मेरा फोन चाहिए बस.
But it would be broken.
अर्जुन यार, don't be silly. अब कहाँ मिलेगा फोन?
Silly. चलती गाड़ी से मेरा फोन बाहर फेंक दिया, you moron.
Imran smiles at Kabir, finding it funny.
अब उसने कहा मैंने फेंक दिया. I mean तूने कहा कि नहीं?
Arjun doesn't know what to say to Imran anymore. He turns to Kabir.
कबीर प्लीज मुझे बोल कि मैं इसे थप्पड़ मारूं.
Don't be silly.
Just tell me to slap him.
Arjun, but
Just tell me to slap him.
slap him.
Arjun slaps Imran across his face. Imran shoves him.
What's wrong with you, man? I'll get you a new phone. Yeah, I was just joking.
Well, it's not funny. वो कॉल मेरे लिए इंपॉर्टेंट था. और तू ये कूल और फनी का लेबल पहनकर जो चीजें कर सकता है क्या? इट्स ऑलवेज लाइक इमरान ने ये किया, ही सो फनी, इमरान ने वो किया, ही सो कूल. ग्रो अप. मेरा फोन बाहर फेंकना इज नॉट फनी. मेरी गर्लफ्रेंड के साथ इन्वॉल्व होना वाज नॉट फनी.
Kabir tenses up. Imran stares at Arjun.
Listen, 4 साल हो चुके हैं उस बात को और मैं माफी मांग चुका हूं. ओके? अब जाने दे उसे.
वरना क्या? हाँ? वरना क्या?
Arjun lunges for Imran. They get into a scuffle.
Boys, just stop it. Stop it, you two. Stop.
Kabir pulls them
बच्चों की
apart.
तरह behave कर रहे हो. Sorry, go on, Rima.
I said it. Kabir pulls them apart.
बच्चों की तरह behave कर रहे हो यार.
Just
If there's a problem, then deal with it like adults.
क्या जज बन रहा है?
और कौन है यहाँ पे? Listen, एक बात प्लीज क्लियर हो जाए. मुझे इससे कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं, ओके?
तुझे प्रॉब्लम होगी क्यों? सोनाली वॉज माई गर्लफ्रेंड.
अरे यार, सोनाली एंड मी फेल इन लव. हो जाता है, शिट हैपेंस.
या, इट वॉज शिट फॉर मी. एंड आई एम श्योर कि तूने एक सेकंड के लिए भी ऐसा नहीं सोचा. इमरान मैन, मैं तेरे साथ ऐसा कभी नहीं करता.
अर्जुन, हो गई गलती. अब मैं क्या करूं? हाँ, क्या करूं? हाँ, सॉरी अर्जुन का टी शर्ट पहन के घुमा करूं? व्हाट यू वांट मी टू डू?
Look at him.
Just listen to me, okay, you two, please. Sonali was a bitch. Understand? I'm sorry, but really, yeah. उसने पहले तुझे यूज किया, फिर बीपीएल देकर इसे यूज किया, और फिर तुझे भी डंप कर दिया. She was a waste of time there and she's a waste of time now.
Arjun and Imran listened to him, both calming down.
4 साल पहले यार ये ट्रिप हमने उसकी वजह से कैंसिल करनी पड़ी. आज हम मेरी वजह से यहाँ हैं. Don't let her ruin this, please.
और कितनी बार सॉरी कहना पड़ेगा? हाँ, how many times? प्लीज थोड़ा क्लियर हो जाए ये सब.
तब यहां से ना निकले ना, तब तक. और ये बीपीएल क्या है? हाँ?
Bumpilat.
Imran hides his smile. Arjun just shakes his head and walks away.
Nice. And scene. Guys, by the way, I know it's been a while since the movie.
But I think you missed a really good merchandising opportunity, which is just Sorry Arjun t-shirts. that you should have just sold.
Ah.
That would have been a cool promotional thing. Just sorry, Arjun, and everybody would have worn it everywhere. I like this scene from Abhay's perspective as well. I think it's a very cool scene to be in. You know, while these two guys fight. So, what are you thinking in a scene like this? Because both of them are so clear in what they're doing until you jump in. So, for you as an actor, how does it feel to be in a scene like this and then come in with what you do?
I mean, the energy always depends upon what the other actors are doing, and they were really going for it. So obviously, I had to come back with a counter energy to what they were putting in. And then when you asked earlier, why is this film just so popular even today and it never grows old? It's because these are real people, and I'm sure you must have found yourself, I know I have, found myself either playing peacemaker between friends or someone is playing peacemaker between me and a friend.
Going from that, because while males do what males do, which is fight with each other, I really want to focus on Katrina's character for a second, because it's very cool. Female, free spirit, not looking for commitment, teaching men how to do dangerous things, driving a motorcycle, being very, very decisive about what she wants, feels like less women that I've seen on screen and more women that I know personally. And so, what is that changeover like for you to go into that character? Because it's a very cool character.
I think what you said is quite right. You don't see female characters like that much on screen, and especially not really at that time. And I think it takes someone as visionary as Zoya to write a character like that, because honestly, women like Leila can be quite intimidating to men, and that's probably why we don't see, that characters that kind of bold and confident of themselves, and not being dependent on anyone for anything, not really needing anything. That doesn't mean she doesn't have desires or fall in love. I mean, she does fall in love with Arjun's character, and she does ask him, in the end, where she asks him that, stay. But the fact that she was so confident, for me, that was such a, like Ritik said, he had that mark to hit where he was coming out of the water in that kind of scene, which just summed up his character. For me, it was about hitting that mark of being so confident and so not conscious of yourself, I think sometimes as actors and just as people in life, for me, I get very conscious when I walk into a room. I think so many of us do. But Leila was a person who didn't seem to get her confidence about who she was in the world or her looks. The confidence came from her free spirit and her attitude towards life. I think just the fact that she just felt that every day living was like a celebration. And I think that's where the beauty of Leila's character really lied.
All right, let's read this scene. Come on, this is scene 4. This is Leila meets Bhagwati. Please set us up and let's go.
All right. Exterior convertible day. The car goes down a beautiful stretch of road. Kabir drives. Arjun sits in the passenger seat eating some cherries. Imran and Leila are seated at the back. Arjun offers the fruit to Kabir and Leila, ignoring Imran. Imran looks at Leila, who is busy taking in the view. Imran reaches for Bhagwati and starts to dress her up. First a scarf, and then his shades go on. Leila stares at him.
Leila, meet Bhagwati. Bhagwati, Leila.
Arjun and Kabir look at each other.
Hi, Bhagwati.
Imran pretends Bhagwati is speaking to him.
Bhagwati कह रही है कि तुम बहुत beautiful हो.
Thank you, Bhagwati.
Arjun shakes his head.
हाँ, शाम भी थी धुआं धुआं, हुस्न भी था उदास उदास, दिल को कई कहानियां याद सी आके रह गई.
That's really nice. तुमने लिखा है?
I wish. रघुपति सहाय फिराक का लिखा हुआ है.
Arjun turns back to look at them.
वैसे जनाब भी काफी अच्छा लगते हैं.
Really?
Thanks, man.
You, Kabir.
Irshad.
Kabir joins in with the sound effects as Arjun mimics a smile.
Diamond biscuit.
Okay, I want to get the sound.
Diamond biscuit, जब भी मूड हो खा लो. Diamond biscuit, healthy स्वाद को पालो.
मम्मी पापा जब भी लाते सारे बच्चे खुश हो जाते. टॉइंग टॉइंग.
Diamond biscuit, healthy स्वाद को पालो.
अब नए कोकोनट फ्लेवर में भी. Diamond biscuit.
All laugh except Imran.
क्या लग रहा है? वाह.
अबे करना पड़ता है कमीनो.
It's inspired writing. Inspired writing.
It's kind of nice.
It is, na?
And that's your scene.
Have you heard an ad that sounds like that recently? Because they still exist and like are being made on a weekly basis. Like there's new Diamond Biscuit ads every week.
Which is
Yeah. It was very true to life.
If there's one sort of day of shooting that you'll take with you, like one moment that you'll take with you, and remember, let's quickly run through those because that's a nice thing to wrap it up with.
What is constantly coming up in my head is a moment that didn't really have lines. Actually, it had Farhan say the poem, but it was predominantly a silent scene, you know, where Arjun comes out of the water after the scuba. And for me, that was just, I mean, that was the entire film in that one moment for Arjun. Right from the time when I heard it when I heard the script, till the time we shot it, you know, that was the target. It was the moment that I was striving to reach, and there were no words, and somehow Zoya was able to communicate the abstract into my mind, because there was no real explanation. It was just something that you either understood or you did not, and I think I got it. I understood that moment, and it was just the most beautiful on paper. For some reason, on paper, I could see it the way, and the fact that it came out the way it did. I remember also that, you know, we tried a lot of takes, but there was something going wrong. It was out focus many a times, and then finally, you know, the water was freezing, and I was trying to protect myself from the cold of the water. So I was pretending to come out of it. The shot starts with me on the ladder of the boat, and finally I said, you know what? That's what's making me hold back, is the fact that I'm not allowing myself to get impacted by the cold of the water. I'm trying to protect myself, and as actors, you know, you probably have to just allow yourself all the stimulus that's available. And then the final take, I just went and I said, Zoya was like, are you sure? Are you crazy? It's really, really cold. And I was like, Zoya, just say action in like 4 seconds. I'm going in. And I went in, I got completely like frozen, and I came out, and exactly what that moment needed was actually happening within me, thanks to that. So that was that's the moment that I would choose. And Zoya actually kept the take which was out focus, and it worked.
It was so amazingly surprising that I
went in and out of focus, but it was beautiful. And it's interesting you've picked this, because I remember when I narrated the film to you, and you said you want to do Arjun, and you said I want to do Arjun. You said to me, I don't know what I'm going to do with that scene where he comes out of the water.
Did I?
This was the only thing you said to me. You said, I don't know what I'm going to do in that. I don't know what I'll do. And I said, we'll figure something. We'll figure it out. Yeah. That was the only one you had like spoken about.
Actually, there's one really, really funny part that I wanted to say about that whole portion. So Zoya had Leila be a diving instructor. And I think I know Farhan and Ritik are almost like certified or semi-pro divers. And I was terrified. So when we were shooting that whole beautiful underwater sequence where, you know, Ritik's character has that whole epiphany, actually what was happening on shoot was I was just digging my nails into his hand because I was so scared. Like, it was my first experience diving like that.
I think it's very difficult to pick out which one, but I think most of the days when we used to finish and we were moving, because we were shooting in 9 cities, it wasn't like a regular, it was actually a road trip after pack-up where everyone, like all the cast, the crew, were just traveling from, you know, in actually cars and going on a road trip to the next destination. So for me, like, one of those days is very special.
Farhan, what about you? Something that you'll take with you?
Two things. I mean, location-wise, I mean that I think it was a place called Bardenas. Zoya, correct me if I'm wrong, where we do the bonfire scene, and the poem happens after Nasir Saab's meeting. That location was absolutely spectacular. Yeah?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say it's my best day. I think it was the craziest shooting day I've ever had in my life. I was doing second unit in the actual Tomatina festival. So we were trying to run 5 cameras in the middle of a stampede. It was crazy.
I didn't have tomatoes for like, I think somewhere like 3 or 4 months. I think none of us could tolerate the presence of a tomato in the room for at least 4 months after that song. I mean, believe it or not, the kind of smell that we suffered. Oh my God! It was.
No, may I just interject for 1 second, Ritik, before you answer? May I just interject 1 second? Do you remember after that when we stayed at some other place? I can't remember what part of the shoot it was. We stayed at this one like a guest house where there was a lady taking care of us, and she made gazpacho, and we were like, "Ma'am, we cannot drink it. We can't have it. And we're really sorry. We've had too much tomato in our lives." And she looked at us and she went, "Well, then I'm just going to have to shove it down your throat." Everyone locked themselves in their rooms that night.
So Katrina and Zoya, will go from you to you. Best day of shooting or day of shooting that you'll just remember?
My biggest memories during the shooting of the film was the scenes between, Arjun and Leila, which were most of my scenes were with Arjun's character. When those scenes were happening, because she's such a carefree spirit, that everything has to be so true or you sound preachy. And I just remember Zoya used to always have a way of bringing you to that place rather than just kind of pointing it out that, it should be different. So that way of everyone coming to that place of honesty as actors in the film, I think was just really beautiful. Everywhere we shot was just, it was magical. I think it was Valencia, if I'm not mistaken, which was just this amazing city with the most amazing restaurants and food that you've ever experienced. And it was just one of those special moments, I think, which happen in life that you get all these beautiful energies and everything just turns out so magically like it did on the film.
For me, I mean, every day was intense because of the nature of the beast and, you're moving. But there were some days when it was just the 3 boys, the car, Carlos with the camera, and the sound guy, and we would leave base and drive off. Mm-hmm. And it was just us and nobody else. And I think those were my favorite days, And one of the boys would do the clap, somebody would call the shot, they were doing their own makeup. I mean, it was just us. It was so free. And I think we got some of the best moments there, and it was very, very relaxing. So those were my favorite times when it was just very tight and it was just us and there was no tamjham and it was just very easy. There was no pressure.
Okay, I want to come to Farhan. Farhan, you have kind of a comedy word heavy role in this one, as in you've got lines that you need to hit and their laugh points, etc. So what's your favorite one, like your funniest one that you think?
Wow, I don't know actually about the comedy part of it, to be honest. I think because of, again, I mean, see, comedy, I mean, it's very different from doing stand-up like what you do where, I mean, it's just about you, right? But in film, like, it's so important, more than what you say, the reaction, the timing of the people in frame with you, the way they react or keep a straight face or how they do it, because Imran, I mean, he's trying to be cute, but it's not played like I'm trying to be funny. Yeah. I want everyone to like me. That's how I was playing it.
I think the best way to wrap this up and to set the tone for this is poetry. So we're going to hand it over to Farhan as we say goodbye to everyone. And Farhan, maybe you can lead us out with poetry from this movie.
So we'll do the one where we're running in front of the bulls to end the film. We'll end this talk with it as well. दिलों में तुम अपनी बेताबियां लेके चल रहे हो तो जिंदा हो तुम. नजर में ख्वाबों की बिजलियां लेके चल रहे हो तो जिंदा हो तुम. हवा के झोंकों के जैसे आज़ाद रहना सीखो. तुम एक दरिया के जैसे लहरों में बहना सीखो. हर एक लम्हे से तुम मिलो खोले अपनी बाहें. हर एक पल एक नया समा देखिए निगाहें. जो अपनी आंखों में हैरानियां लेके चल रहे हो तो जिंदा हो तुम. दिलों में तुम अपनी बेताबियां लेके चल रहे हो तो जिंदा.
So nice to see everyone again. So nice to see everyone.
Seeing everyone.
Guys, tomorrow is two things are happening. It's Katrina Kaif's birthday. And Farhan's Tufan is releasing. So wish them both.
Yes, all the best for tomorrow. Wish you all the best.
Yes, all the best for tomorrow. You have the powers, looking fantastic.
Happy birthday in advance, Kat.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Katrina.
Wow, it's Katrina's birthday. It's going to be a lucky day.